Welcome back, everyone. Today we are kicking off the ultimate showdown. If you've ever sat on the couch back home, dreaming about packing it all in and retiring somewhere tropical where your dollar actually goes the distance, you've probably looked at Southeast Asia.
Absolutely. But the biggest mistake people make is thinking every country in this region is the same. They look at a few pretty beach photos and assume the paperwork is a breeze. The reality? The visa laws across Thailand, the Philippines, Cambodia, and Vietnam are wildly different, and the financial hurdles for some of these might completely shock you.
They really will. We are digging deep into the actual numbers today. No generic advice. We've done the research, we've got the current data, and we're breaking down exactly what cash you need to park in the bank, how the process works, and how to avoid the absolute nightmares. Susan, let's start with the heavy hitter that everyone thinks they know. Thailand.
Right. Thailand is the classic choice, but the rules are strict. If you're 50 or older, you're looking at the non-immigrant retirement pathway. But Matt, you can't just turn up. You have a massive upfront capital hurdle here. You need to park 800,000 Thai baht into a personal Thai bank account.
And at current rates, that's roughly 36,000 Aussie dollars. Now, 36 grand might not sound impossible, but it's the seasoning rules that catch people off guard. That money can't just pass through the account. It has to sit there completely, untouched for 2 full months before you even apply for your extension, and for 3 months after it's granted, even for the rest of the year. Your balance can never drop below 400,000 baht.
Exactly. It locks up your liquidity. Now, there is an alternative where you show a monthly passive income of 65,000 baht. That's about 2,900 Aussie dollars a month via pension or super letters. But here's the trap. Many Western embassies have stopped issuing those income verification letters entirely. So for a lot of Aussies, the cash deposit method is the only real way forward.
So how do you actually do it? Well, you can apply for an initial 90-day visa at the embassy before you leave, or convert a tourist visa inside the country. But here's my builder brain warning. Navigating the Thai bank to open an account on a short-term tourist entry is an absolute nightmare. They heavily restrict it now. You almost must use a reputable local agent, someone like Siam Legal, to bridge that gap, handle the paperwork, and get that account open.
And the compliance doesn't stop once you get the stamp. Thailand forces you into a 90-day reporting cycle. Every 90 days, you have to verify your address with immigration. They have an online portal for it, but let's be real, it's notoriously glitchy. A lot of expats end up queuing at immigration or paying an agent 1,000 baht just to avoid the headache. Oh, and if you want to pop back home to see the grandkids, you have to buy a re-entry permit before you step foot out of the country, or your retirement visa is instantly canceled.
It's a lot of red tape, but now let's look at the competitor that completely flips the script on the check-ins. The Philippines. They have a specific pathway called the SRRV Smile Visa. Susan, what's the damage on that one?
Well, if you are 50 or older, the upfront hurdle is 20,000 US dollars. Notice I said US dollars there. That's roughly 31,000 Aussie. You have to do a direct international wire transfer into an accredited Philippine Retirement Authority bank account, usually with the Development Bank of the Philippines. And just like Thailand, that money is locked. It sits there as a security deposit to maintain your visa.
Right, so you enter the country on a standard tourist visa, but you have to bring an official national police check from home that has been properly apostilled and legalized. Then you get a local medical clearance done in Manila.
But here's where the Philippines wins big over Thailand, the agent process, and the day-to-day compliance. You legally have to work with a registered PRA marketer or agent, but they are incredibly efficient. They can fast-track the whole process down to about 15 to 20 business days. And once you have that physical SRRV card in your hand, you are completely exempt from the standard Bureau of Immigration 60-day check-ins. No 90-day reporting like Thailand. You just pay a small annual fee to renew your retirement card, and you're left completely alone.
That is a massive bonus. No immigration queues every few months is a huge lifestyle win. But what if you don't want to tie up 30 grand in a foreign bank? That brings us to Cambodia, which might just be the lowest financial barrier in the entire region.
Cambodia is fascinating. If you are 55 or older, you look at the retirement extension. And get this, there is zero mandatory locked cash deposit. You don't have to park 20 or 30 grand in a local bank account. Instead, you just have to prove a stable monthly pension or passive income of at least $1,500, about 2,300 Aussie.
The entry process is incredibly specific, though. Do not buy a standard tourist visa online before you go. You have to buy a $50 E-Class ordinary visa on arrival at the airport. Once you're inside Cambodia, that's when you apply to extend it to the retirement visa for up to 12 months.
And look, doing that over the counter yourself at the immigration department in Phnom Penh is an absolute bureaucratic maze. The golden rule in Cambodia is to use a local travel agent for about $300 total, which includes the government fees. An agent handles everything. You pass them your passport, and it comes back with a 12-month multiple entry retirement stamp.
And look, doing that over the counter yourself at the immigration department in Phnom Penh is an absolute bureaucratic maze. The golden rule in Cambodia is to use a local travel agent. For about $300 total, which includes the government fees, an agent handles everything. You pass them your passport, and it comes back with a 12-month multiple entry retirement stamp.
Oh, Vietnam is the one that shocks everyone. Let's clear up the single biggest myth right now. Vietnam does not have a retirement visa. Period. They do not care if you have a massive pension or $1 million in the bank. There is no official pathway to just retire there.
So how are all these expats living long-term in places like Da Nang or Ho Chi Minh City? They are using loopholes, and you need to understand exactly how stable or unstable they are. The first option is the investor route, using a DT3 or DT4 visa. You literally have to set up a small domestic shell company or a niche consulting business in Vietnam. You contribute a capital investment starting around $10,000 to $40,000. That business setup grants you an investor, visa, and a temporary residence card for 1 to 3 years.
But think about the overhead there. You need a specialized corporate agent to manage the business licenses, file tax declarations, and deal with the Ministry of Public Security. It is a highly technical, paper-heavy process.
Exactly. And if you don't want to spend the money setting up a fake business, your only other option is the dreaded e-visa border run. You buy a 90-day multiple entry e-visa online. Every single 90 days, you legally have to pack a bag, walk across the border into Cambodia, or hop on a cheap flight to Kuala Lumpur, and then turn right back around to re-enter Vietnam on a brand new e-visa.
Can you imagine doing that in your 60s or 70s? Every 3 months, pack up, leave the country, just to reset your clock. Plus, the local compliance is tight. Every single time you move into a new apartment or re-enter the country on a fresh visa, your landlord has to physically or digitally register your presence with the local ward police post. If they miss it, it's a massive fine and a black mark on your name.
It's a total game of cat and mouse. So, looking at round 1, if you want clean, structured stability and you have the cash, Thailand and the Philippines give you a proper legal home. If you want a low financial barrier with zero cash locked up, Cambodia is an absolute breeze. But if you're choosing Vietnam, you better be ready to run a business or run the borders.
Brilliant. Now that we've got the legalities out of the way, let's talk about what it actually costs to put a roof over your head in these places. Let's move on to part 2 and break down the real rental prices and those shocking utility bills.
When people talk about retiring to Southeast Asia, they usually hit 2 extremes. They either say you can scrape by on under $1,000 a month, or they show you multi-million-dollar luxury penthouses. Today, we are looking at the true middle ground.
When people talk about retiring to Southeast Asia, they usually hit 2 extremes. They either say you can scrape by on under $1,000 a month, or they show you multi-million-dollar luxury penthouses. Today, we are looking at the true middle ground. Let's look at housing in Thailand's top retirement hubs, Chiang Mai for culture and value, or Hua Hin for seaside golfing. In a modern condo block with 24-hour security, a massive pool, and a top-tier gym. In a 1 or 2 bedroom unit is between $450 and $900 a month.
If you want space, a private 3-bedroom villa with its own pool, you're looking more at $1,100 to $1,800 US dollars a month. But if you want to buy, you need to understand the Condominium Act. Foreigners can legally own a condo 100% in their own name if the total foreign ownership of that building stays under 49%.
And for villas, foreigners cannot own the land. You either buy the building structure and secure an ironclad 30-year leasehold on the land beneath it, or buy through a Thai corporate structure, which carries rigid compliance costs.
Don't underestimate the hidden running costs. Air conditioning is your biggest enemy here. Running standard split systems to keep a 2-bedroom space cool will cost you $90 to $150 a month in electricity.
Water is cheap at $5 to $10, but tap water is not safely drinkable. A mid-tier retiree will either spend $15 a month on standard 18-liter bottled water delivery or install a quality reverse osmosis filtration system.
On the plus side, digital infrastructure is world-class. Unlimited gigabit fiber internet is a mere $15 to $20, and a premium 5G mobile plan with unlimited data sits around $15.
Moving to the Philippines, where Cebu City offers premium urban living and Dumaguete gives you a relaxed university town vibe. A mid-tier, fully furnished 1 to 2 bedroom condo inside a gated complex with a pool inactive. Property management runs $400 to $800 a month.
A private standalone villa out in the residential enclave scales up to $900 to $1,500. Buying here follows a familiar rule. The Philippine Condominium Act allows you to own a condo unit directly in your name, provided the foreign allocation in the tower doesn't cross 40%.
Land ownership for villas is strictly off-limits to foreign citizens. To secure a house, you have to buy the structure and execute a long-term land lease, typically capped at 25 years with a single 5-year renewal option.
The Philippines has some of the highest electricity costs in all of Asia due to private grid structures. If you keep the air conditioning blasting day and night, expect that bill to easily hit $100 to $180 a month.
If you own or rent a condo, you also face monthly maintenance levies, often called HOA fees, which cost roughly $40 to $90 to maintain the common pools and elevators.
Drinking water means buying purified 5-gallon blue jugs from local refilling stations, costing about $20 monthly. Combine your high-speed fiber internet with standard Netflix and Spotify premium tiers, and you add another $45 to the tally.
Cambodia, specifically Siem Reap and Phnom Penh, is currently the easiest country in Southeast Asia for retirement visas, requiring very little red tape. A high-quality 1 to 2 bedroom condo with access to a rooftop pool and basic gym ranges from $350 to $650 a month.
A private local villa with a courtyard can be picked up for $700 to $1,300. If you look at purchasing, Cambodia uses the strata title law. Foreigners can legally own a property outright under their own name, but only from the first floor upward. You cannot own the ground floor or underground levels of a building.
And like its neighbors, foreigners cannot own land outright. Buying a villa requires a long-term leasehold or navigating a specialized landholding trust system, which introduces extra annual legal administration fees.
Cambodia runs heavily on a dual currency system of US dollars and local riel, making day-to-day calculations simple. Your main bill is electricity, sitting around $70 to $130 a month if you utilize modern power-efficient inverter AC units.
Tap water is strictly for utility use. Buying clean, filtered 20-liter water barrels for drinking and cooking will add about $15 a month. Fiber internet is incredibly affordable at around $15. And local mobile phone plans with huge data buckets are practically a steal at under $10. Finally, Vietnam. If you want pristine coastal living, Da Nang is world-class. If you prefer structured, walkable urban spaces, District 7 in Ho Chi Minh City is unmatched. A mid-tier condo in a premium residential complex costs between $400 and $750 a month.
A luxury villa inside an expat pocket will range from $1,000 to $1,800, but buying in Vietnam requires extreme caution. All land belongs collectively to the people and is managed by the state. Foreigners can only buy a 50-year leasehold ownership certificate for apartments or houses within approved commercial developments.
Furthermore, there is a strict quota. Foreigners can own no more than 30% of the total units in a single condo building. Once that 30% allocation is hit, you are completely locked out from buying.
Day-to-day running costs in Vietnam are some of the lowest in the region. Electricity averages $65 to $110, though major cities use progressive pricing steps, meaning the more power you consume, the higher the base unit price becomes.
Bottled drinking water delivery is highly organized and costs just $10 to $15 a month. Fiber internet is exceptionally fast and cheap at $12, while an unlimited local 4G or 5G mobile SIM card rarely exceeds $6 a month.
To summarize, across all 4 countries, a monthly budget of $2,500 ensures a completely stress-free mid-tier retirement. You get a modern, secure condo, eat great food, cover high-tier utility bills, and never have to check your bank balance before a normal day out.
But if you push that budget up to $4,000 a month, you move out of standard apartments and into standalone private pool villas, upscale dining, and premium lifestyle conveniences without restriction. It all comes down to choosing the right visa, the right property laws, and setting your ideal pace.
Now let's tackle the single biggest topic that can make or break a retirement plan overseas: healthcare and medical insurance.
Absolutely, Matt. Beautiful beaches don't mean much if you can't access a proper doctor or a world-class hospital when you need one.
The reality across these 4 countries ranges from mind-blowing international hospitals to places where you must fly out for major surgery.
Let's start with Thailand, which is legendary in the medical tourism world. What are retirees looking at on the ground there?
Thailand is top tier. Facilities like Bumrungrad International or the Bangkok Hospital Group match or exceed back home. And there are virtually 0 wait times. You can walk in and see a US or European trained specialist within an hour. The out-of-pocket costs are shockingly affordable too. A private GP consultation sits around 30 to 50 Aussie dollars. Even comprehensive blood panels or diagnostic scans usually only cost between 150 and 250 Australian dollars.
But here is the critical system check for Thailand. If you hold the non-immigrant OA visa, health insurance is legally mandatory. You must hold a policy with at least 3 million baht and covered ethits, roughly 135,000 Aussie dollars. Premiums scale heavily with age. A 50-year-old might pay 1,200 AUD a year, but over 65, it can easily top 4,000 AUD annually. So you have to factor that annual insurance premium straight into your baseline operational budget.
Moving to the Philippines, they have exceptional private networks in major hubs, like St. Luke's Medical Center in Manila. The massive advantage in the Philippines is language. Medical staff are completely fluent in English, so nothing gets lost in translation. Private specialist consults are dirt cheap, ranging from 25 to 45 Aussie dollars, with very affordable outpatient testing. But there's a big caveat. Healthcare quality drops off significantly once you leave the main metropolitan centers and head into provincial areas.
For the SRRV visa, valid local or international health coverage is required to keep your paperwork compliant. Many expats grab local private plans like MaxiCare or Cobra for everyday clinic visits, paired with global catastrophic coverage. That dual setup gives you direct billing at top-tier private hospitals without paying massive global premiums. Now, what about Cambodia? Because this is where the medical strategy takes a major shift. Cambodia is great for minor injuries, routine dental work, and basic triage at places like Royal Phnom Penh Hospital. Basic clinic visits are cheap, usually 20 to 40 IUD, but for complex surgeries or cardiac emergencies, expats don't stay. They routinely hop on a quick 1-hour flight straight to Bangkok or Singapore for serious medical intervention. And that is why your Cambodia a visa insurance policy, which requires 50,000 USD in coverage, must have one crucial feature. It must include a robust emergency medical evacuation rider. If you get seriously ill in Siem Reap, you want air ambulance to Thailand. Without medevac coverage, an emergency medical flight out of Cambodia can cost tens of thousands out of pocket instantly. That brings us to Vietnam. Cities like Ho Chi Minh and Hanoi have phenomenal international clinics like FV Hospital and Family Medical. The medical staff at these international hubs are fully bilingual, and a private GP consult runs between 40 and 70 Aussie dollars.
Unlike Thailand, Vietnam doesn't mandate health insurance for standard entries. But going uninsured there is absolute madness. Outside the main city international clinics, public hospitals face huge language barriers and severe overcrowding. So comprehensive private international insurance is an absolute non-negotiable if you plan on living in Da Nang or Saigon long-term. So to recap, Thailand and the Philippines lead on local hospital quality, while Cambodia and Vietnam require smart insurance planning. Next up, let's talk about lifestyle integration, how easy it is to make friends, communicate, and navigate rental contracts across these 4 countries. This is where day-to-day comfort really lives. You need to know if you can get by with English and what happens when you sign a lease.
Thailand has massive, highly organized expat communities in Chiang Mai, Bangkok, Hua Hin, and Phuket. You can easily find active groups for everything from golf and photography to amateur mechanics and cycling. The language barrier is high in daily local life, but quite low in tourist spots, commercial hubs, and private hospitals. Most expats get by using basic Thai phrases and translation apps for day-to-day shopping and local markets. When renting in Thailand, standard leases run for 12 months, requiring a 2-month security deposit plus 1 month upfront. Be cautious. Thai rental agreements heavily favor the landlord. Breaking a lease early almost always means losing your entire deposit. Arainers cannot own land directly, but buying a freehold condominium unit in your own name is 100% legal under the foreign quota. Now, let's look at the Philippines, where community integration is almost effortless. The Philippines has thriving expat hubs in Metro Manila, Angeles City, Subic Bay, and coastal Dumaguete. The language barrier here is the lowest in all of Asia. English is an official language used natively everywhere. It is used in government offices, legal contracts, medical reports, and daily street conversations. That means zero communication stress when getting your home repaired or negotiating a rental agreement. Standard Philippine rental contracts typically require 2 months of deposit plus 2 months rent paid upfront, while foreign land ownership is constitutionally banned. The Condominium Act lets you own condo titles outright up to the 40% foreign building cap. Moving to Cambodia, this country offers one of the most welcoming and close-knit expat atmospheres in the region. Let's look at how Phnom Penh and Siem Reap stack up for retirees.
Expat hubs center around Phnom Penh and Siem Reap, where English is widely spoken in city shops and restaurants. In rural provinces, the language barrier rises, but basic English is common across major city centers. Rental leases are flexible, usually asking for a 1 to 2 month security deposit. Always read your contract terms carefully. Foreigners can buy apartments above the ground floor with strata titles, but ground land requires specialized trust structures. Finally, Vietnam boasts high-energy expat communities, especially in Ho Chi Minh City's District 2 and Da Nang's coastal strip. Outside these expat enclaves, the language barrier is substantial. Learning basic Vietnamese phrases is essential for daily living. Standard leases run 1 to 2 years with a 2-month deposit. Foreigners cannot own land or traditional property titles. You can only lease condominium units under a long-term 50-year ownership framework. We are at the final section. Now let's dive into day-to-day living costs: food, street markets, dining out, and furnishing a place. In Thailand, Vietnam, and Cambodia, local street food costs just 2 to 4 Aussie dollars per meal for delicious pad thai, pho, or lok lok. That is incredible value. In the Philippines, local street food runs slightly higher at 3 to 5 Australian dollars. However, if you want Western comfort food like a burger, steak, or pizza, prices jump to 15 to 30 Australian dollars across the region, or up to 35 Australian dollars in Manila due to import taxes.
Setting up your long-term apartment is very reasonable. Purchasing a brand new 50-inch smart TV runs around 450 to 650 AUD in Thailand and Vietnam, while imported tech in the Philippines sits around 500 to 700 AUD. A solid 3-seater, Sofa ranges from 400 to 800 OD, depending on whether you choose local or imported furniture. Plus, daily clothing from local street market like t-shirts, shorts, and light linen pants usually costs a quick 5 to 15 Aussie dollars per item.
Retiree routines across Southeast Asia are vibrant and affordable. In Thailand, playing a round on a world-class golf course costs between 40 and 100 Australian dollars for green fees. Meanwhile, coastal hubs in Vietnam and the Philippines offer endless low-cost island hopping. The Philippines and Vietnam also boast an incredible, affordable cafe culture right along the water. Cambodia offers a more peaceful, laid-back vibe centered around historic sites, boutique cafes, local community projects, and a very relaxed pace of life.
Okay, Matt, let's recap the main showdown takeaways. Thailand is top tier if you prioritize world-class private healthcare and structured visa options. But if zero language barrier and seamless English communication are your non-negotiables, the Philippines is an absolute winner. If you want minimal upfront capital lockups and the easiest visa transition in the entire region, Cambodia is your best budget option. And if high-energy cities, dynamic coastal living, and phenomenal daily value fit your style, Vietnam delivers on every level.
Well, Susan, we have given so much value here, I feel. And now that wraps up our complete Southeast Asia showdown. I want to thank you so much for sticking with us through all. Remember, if you missed any details on visa rules, housing laws, or healthcare setup, feel free to rewind and rewatch the specific parts. We want to hear directly from you. Please leave a comment down below and tell us which Southeast Asian country is your top choice for retirement. Tell us where you are watching from, share your retirement plans, and let us know what questions you have so we can help.
Thank you so much. It's been great having you here with us.
We ask one thing of you. If you have made it right here to the end and enjoyed the run-through, please subscribe as it really helps us out. Bye for now.